Imagine the last moments of your life, caught on camera. Not a happy memory, but something far more unsettling. A strange twitch, a hurried glance, a sudden, inexplicable sprint into the unknown. What if those fleeting images are the only clues left behind after someone vanishes without a trace? The unsettling truth is, sometimes the last glimpse we have of a person isn't normal at all. It's downright bizarre. These aren't just missing persons cases. They're puzzles where the final piece of the known timeline is a moment that chills you to the bone. You're about to see 4 individuals whose last recorded actions were so out of character, they leave more questions than answers. Here are 4 people who vanished after acting strangely. Case 1. Lars Mittank. Few disappearances are as baffling as the case of Lars Mittank, a young man whose last moments were captured on airport security cameras in what can only be described as a frantic escape. Lars Mittank was on vacation with friends in Bulgaria in July 2014. Everything seemed normal until he got into a bar fight, rupturing his eardrum. He couldn't fly home with his friends due to the injury and was advised by doctors not to fly. He stayed behind, planning to take a bus home the next day, but that night, things took a turn. Lars called his mother, sounding panicked, whispering about being followed and feeling unsafe. He even asked her to cancel his credit cards. The next morning, he arrived at Varna Airport, clearly gated. He was seen on security footage talking to a doctor in the airport, but suddenly, he bolted. Lars left his luggage, passport, and wallet behind. He ran out of the terminal, over a fence, and into a sunflower field, disappearing completely. This wasn't a normal exit. He was barefoot, panicked, and his movements were erratic. It was as if he was running for his life from an unseen threat. What triggered this sudden, desperate flight? Theories range from an adverse reaction to antibiotics, causing psychosis, to him genuinely being threatened or pursued. Some speculate he had a mental health crisis. Despite extensive searches, Lars Mittank has never been found. The CCTV footage remains the only real clue, a chilling video of a man fleeing into thin air. To this day, no one knows what made Lars run or where he went. Case 2. Elisa Lam. The Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles has a dark history, but perhaps no case is more haunting than the bizarre disappearance and discovery of Elisa Lam, captured on an elevator's surveillance camera. In January 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam, a student from British Columbia, was on a solo trip across California. She was staying at the infamous Cecil Hotel. On January 31st, she went missing. Police released elevator surveillance footage hoping to find clues. What they got instead was a video that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who watched it. The nearly 4-minute video shows Alisa entering the elevator, pressing multiple floor buttons, but the doors don't close. She peeks out, looks left and right, then quickly ducks back inside. She steps out again, moving her hands in a very strange fashion. It looks like she's talking to someone or something, or perhaps trying to activate the elevator. Then, she walks away, and the doors finally close. 3 weeks later, hotel guests begin complaining about low water pressure and strange tasting water. A maintenance worker found Elisa's body in a water tank on the hotel's roof. The footage is deeply disturbing. Was she playing a game? Was she under the influence of drugs? Or was she being pursued by someone unseen? The police ruled her death an accidental drowning, citing bipolar disorder as a significant condition. However, the circumstances of her being able to access the locked roof, the heavy water tank lid, and her erratic behavior in the elevator continue to fuel speculation about foul play or something even more supernatural. The truth of what happened to Elisa Lam in that elevator and how she ended up in the water tank remains one of the internet's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Case 3. Bryce Laspisa. The final confirmed sighting of Bryce Laspisa involves him sitting in his car for hours near a remote California lake before he simply walked off into darkness and disappeared. In August 2013, 19-year-old Bryce Laspisa, a college student, was driving home to Laguna Niguel, California, from his university in Chico. His parents grew worried when he missed an agreed-upon check-in. During his drive, his behavior became erratic. He called his mother multiple times, seeming confused, even agitated. At one point, his car broke down, but he refused help, saying he'd rather sleep in his car. After his car was fixed, he drove hours in the wrong direction, ending up near Castaic Lake. He sent a text to his mother apologizing for his behavior. The last known person to see Bryce was a Good Samaritan who pulled up to his broken-down SUV. Bryce was sitting inside, the windows tinted, and appeared unresponsive. The witness left after determining he didn't need immediate help. When authorities found Bryce's car later that morning, the back window was shattered, the passenger seat was missing, and the battery was dead. Bryce was gone. What led to Bryce's strange behavior? Theories range from a sudden mental health crisis, possibly triggered by sleep deprivation or drug use, to foul play by an unseen individual who later confronted him. The damaged car suggests a struggle or an intentional act. Despite extensive searches of the lake and surrounding wilderness, no trace of Bryce has ever been found. Bryce's last confirmed sighting, alone in his car before walking off into the dark, leaves us with more questions than answers about his unsettling disappearance. Case 4. Yuba County Five. A terrifying road trip ends with 4 bodies found in the wilderness and one man, Gary Mathias, vanishing completely, leaving behind a chilling trail of unexplained events. In February 1978, 5 friends, Gary Mathias, Jack Hoot, Ted Wire, Jackie Husentrut, and William Sterling, all with mild intellectual disabilities, attended a basketball game in Chico, California. After the game, they were supposed to drive home, a short trip. Instead, their car was found stuck on a remote mountain road, far off their intended route, with no sign of the men. 4 months later, 4 of the men were found dead in bizarre locations. One was in a trailer in a remote forest, having seemingly starved. Others were found scattered in the woods, some showing signs of hypothermia. The strangest detail? The trailer where the one man was found had plenty of food inside, yet he starved to death. It was like they couldn't or wouldn't access it. But the 5th man, Gary Mathias, was never found. He was the last one known to be alive, and witnesses reportedly saw him in the area after the others had perished. What led these men to such a remote area, far from their route, and what happened to them? Theories range from them being disoriented in the snow, encountering a strange cult, or even being tracked by an unknown individual. The fact that they seemingly avoided available food and shelter, coupled with the continued disappearance of Gary Mathias, makes this one of the most unsettling and inexplicable mass disappearances in true crime history. The mystery of the Yuba County Five, and especially the vanishing of Gary Mathias, leaves us wondering what chilling secret lies hidden in those mountains. These 4 cases, Lars Mittank, Elisa Lam, Bryce Laspisa, and the Yuba County Five, are stark reminders that sometimes the last glimpse we have of someone is the most confusing. Their final actions only deepen the mystery of their disappearances. Which case creeps you out the most? Do you have a theory about what happened to any of them? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And if you're as fascinated by unsolved mysteries as I am, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more chilling true crime stories. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.